When I'm not working, what do I like to do? Well, let's see. First of all, I am surprised when I'm not working. I catch myself and I go, oh, I'm not working. Should I feel guilty that I'm not working? I'm not working. But then I realize that it's like Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the morning and hey, I shouldn't be working. I should be sleeping. So I get into bed and I think about, I'd like to be in California right now, lying on the beach, thinking about pool boys, attending to my every need. Yeah, that's what I'd like. I also would like to be athletic. Yeah, I need to be a little bit more athletic. You know, these muscles, they're not like they used to be. So I think about that I should be working out now that I'm not working. But then again, it's 1 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday and there's no gym that's open by me. So I think I just have too much to think about. I'm going to sleep right now. And then I'm going to get up and then I'm going to go to work. Thank you very much. What do I never leave home without? Well, I've tried this a couple times. You can ask Marie, she's my assistant. My car keys, I've left without my car keys. I have left without my glasses and my water. I have to have my water. I have driven home to go get my water. Amen. I have to show you my water. I did not leave home without it. If I could do anything I wanted to do, and money wasn't an object, what would I do? I see this humongous place. It's like a community. And of course, it would be a huge church filled with people who weren't just right, kind of like me. Because when God found me, I was a mess. And you know what? I knew I was a mess. And so I would invite these people in and they would experience God and everyone would be able to experience Him in a whole new way. And then we would have a restaurant in there that would be run by ex-convicts, all these girls. It would be called My Sister's Sweet Side. You want to know why? Because we've already experienced the not-so-sweet side, and we want people to experience what God has done. And on the other side, there would be like the red light district, but instead of be hooking for, well, dope and Johns, we'd be hooking for Jesus, and it would be in a whole different way, expressing love the way the Father would meant it to be, not the way man would have done it. And let's see, then we would have children all over the place. God would just be so big that people would have to go back and go, wow, I can't do anything but bask in His glory. And then I would go on and do more stuff because then I needed to go do more stuff and then more stuff. I didn't leave home without my water bottle. If I could go back and do over one thing in my life, what would it be? Actually, there's a few things, and I all think we all have regrets in somehow. But one thing is for certain, I would have spent more time with the family members that I love so much, that I don't have that opportunity anymore. The other thing is that I would have a different view on God. You know what? Everyone just made me think that He was this big old nasty judge who's just going to tell me, you're wrong here, you're wrong there, woo woo. And then I got to know Him really, you know what? And He's a Jesus that laughs, and He's a Jesus that loves, and He's a God who adores His creation. So I would have a different viewpoint on who God and Jesus really were. How would I describe myself as a teenager? Let's see, I was the firstborn of 4 kids, so I was kind of bossy. Can you believe that? Me, bossy? Anyways, I had a really good work ethic, even as a young person, but I wanted to fit in all the crowds. But I really liked the more radical crowds. I love like Van Halen and Aerosmith, but I wore my leather and I was cool. And I hung out with the jocks and I was more cool, but I really liked to hang out with the rockers. Amen. As a little girl, did I ever see myself as a movie star? And if I did, who would that have been? You know what? When we grew up, we were always watching old black and white movies around the house. And I remember watching this little girl who was really vivacious and loved to dance and loved to sing, and she loved to kibitz and fellowship. And her name was Shirley Temple. I loved her. I wanted to be just like Shirley Temple. If given the choice to vacation either in New York City or in Yellowstone, which one would I choose and why? Well, New York City, I've never been there, but I was born and raised in Chicago, so I really like the idea of going into the city where it's nightlife all the time, go to the plays, fine restaurants, all these people looking fine and stuff like that. Have a little cocktail, don't tell the boss. But the other side of me wants to go to Yellowstone because I was also raised in the farm on the countryside. And so I would love to go in there and smell the good air and see the blue skies and go fishing and like hang out with the country critters. That's a tough call. So this is my answer. I would take 3.5 days there in New York City, and I would take 3.5 days at Yellowstone. Yep, that's what I would do. If I were to have the opportunity to meet one historic person besides Jesus, who would that person be? Well, I'm the one sitting over here, so I'm going with two. One would be Abraham Lincoln. How he struggled so much and failed so many times, but continued to get up and pursue what was good and right. And he suffered so much, and he made such a difference in this world. The other person would be Paul. You know Paul out of the Bible, the crazy apostle? How he went from such a radical man against Jesus and the Christians to such a radical believer for Christ, and how he just pursued with all that he had to go after Jesus. He even spent time in prison. Oh, prison ministry, we're talking about it here. Anyways, that's kind of like me. Radical against Christ, what are you, a bunch of Bible thumpers gone loony? And then I experienced Christ, and you know what? He's worth being radical over. Yep, those are my two dudes.